All right, so I'll get going, and yeah, so you're good to record. So, all right, so thank you for coming to this smart home tour. My name is Andrew Valier, and I'm the owner of Uplynk Smart Homes. And I have been creating smart homes for about 20 years, and I didn't know that I was doing that because they weren't called smart homes at the time. My father had a tech company, and we were solving all kinds of problems for people in their homes. And um, how my kind of initial start in that began was we were setting up the internet for a lot of people for the first time, especially in like rural areas with satellites and whatnot. And then, once we gave people the internet for the first time, they were then asking like, hey, can I have Wi-Fi? Or, I have a barn and I would like some cameras in the barn. Can you link my barn to my house? And I'll never forget, like, this one example where we had the farmer who had pregnant animals in his barn, and he had to get up every 2 hours and walk to his barn to check on them. And it was not very close to his house. It was probably about 500 feet away from the house. And thinking of that in February, January, like having to do that all year. And then we wirelessly linked the barn to the house, and then put a camera system in every stall in his barn, and set it up on a laptop so that he could just wake up every 2 hours, open the laptop, and see his animals there live, and just make sure none of them were going into labor. And I was a pretty young man at that point, and I was just like, man, like we really solved the problem for this guy, a major problem. And that was something that really inspired me going forward. Is I love solving problems with technology, and this has really become quite an amazing thing you can do, especially with smart home technology now. So um, my company began 5 years ago. The first real smart home that we did with a builder, we actually created an Alexa home, and we won Smart Home of the Year for North America through a company called CEDIA, which is like a governing body for integrators, smart home companies like us, and technology companies. And I realized that I was really good at this because of that. And we've since gone on to win several other awards for our projects. And we've done Google Homes, we've done Alexa Homes, we've done HomeKit Homes. And then there's a new ecosystem that we learned last year called Savant, and it's the most powerful and amazing smart home software that I've ever used. And that's a really big part of this tour, because this company Savant isn't as well known as these other brands, but um, their system is so much more powerful, and the amount of things you can do with it is insane. So what I've done here is just an example of a pretty honestly basic system, but just imagine that like this could be customized into infinity, sort of forever. Whoever lives in their home, right? So Rebecca, you could have different wants, needs, and desires for you. And of course, this whole system could be customized specific to you. So don't ever think that what I'm showing you is static and can't be changed. Um, and then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go downstairs, and we'll start the tour at the front door. And something that I just want you to think about as I go through it is that there's like different subcategories that make up a smart home. For example, the network, which is like the Wi-Fi and the cabling that brings all these devices together and allows them to communicate with each other. There's things like the security system, which is like the cameras, or the door locks, the garage door opener, things that kind of tell you about the status of your home, and obviously show you like who's coming and going. And then there's other categories like lighting, and smart blinds. And then you have things like TV and audio, which I'm going to show you as well. And there's even more categories that I don't have here, but something I'm really excited about, which is whole home energy management. So you can design a solar panel system, and then actually control the energy usage throughout the home to say conserve your electrical usage if you're on like a battery system. And all that stuff can be automated to optimize the system and make a battery storage system last way longer than it normally would. So all this stuff is really exciting. And anyways, I'll kind of tell you which subcategory I'm talking about as I go through. But I'm going to head down to the front door now, and we'll start the tour there. Okay. And that's not muted now, right? Correct. Okay, so what we have here is going to fall under the security category. So we've got a doorbell and we have a smart lock. And what's really amazing about this Savant system is that this doorbell is from Ring and the lock is from Yale. So it's two different brands, but they're able to both be downloaded into the Savant app so that they can be controlled just from one location. The Ring doorbell works just like any other Ring doorbell. It activates our mechanical chime inside. And then there's some touch screens in the home that I'll show you later that will actually allow you to communicate with whoever's at your door. And of course, this is also something that can be done on a cell phone. And then the Yale lock here, you can just, one touch and lock it. And then when I come home, I can just touch this button here and it illuminates my numbers here. And I can press my code and it unlocks the door for me. I can also assign codes to other people as well. So for example, like my cleaning lady has her own code, and when she uses it, I get a little notification that says, hey, Shane has unlocked the door, and I know that she's come. And she always comes on a Friday, so the code only works on Fridays, just for a little bit of extra security, so Shane can't just come whenever she wants. But I would love that if she came every day and cleaned up, but I can't afford it. But yeah, so that's basically our front door here, and this would fall under the security category. And then we'll go inside, and I'm going to talk to you about another feature we've got here. So what this is called a smart keypad, and as you can see, there's different labels that we've got on each section here. We did this ourselves, but you can actually get laser etched labels on these. We weren't exactly sure what we were going to do with this keypad, so we just said, hey, we'll do that ourselves later. But what's really cool is that this can trigger a whole bunch of different devices to do a single command at once. So I've got just a simple command on the top button. This is just controlling my exterior lights on and off like a light switch. So pretty basic, and I chose that because it's actually replaced the light switch for the exterior lights, so it still gives me that functionality. And then this guy here, the lights on, that's kind of just a command that's going to give me lighting in my front foyer in my kitchen when I come home if I just want some welcoming lights. And then this button here that says welcome, that one will turn my lights on, but it will also play music for me from a classical music station that I've chosen. So I'm just going to push that one. If you look at the kitchen area and whatnot, you'll see that the lights will actually come on. And then we'll have some classical music coming through the speakers as well. I don't have a choice over which song starts. It's a little bit of a quiet one right now, but that's sort of what we've chosen. It's just a random classical radio station. And you could customize this to whatever you want. So like if Rebecca, you wanted a different station on when you come home, it can be whatever one you choose. And then the other button here that says good night, that one is usually when I head upstairs to my bedroom. This is actually right by the bottom of my stairwell. And I've got some lights on, the TV's on, or maybe I'm playing some music. If I push that good night button, what that does is it'll actually stop the music. It'll turn all the lights off, as you can see, and then it'll lock my door for me as well. So that all gets triggered just from one single point of contact. And the beauty of the Savant app is that it's able to talk to all of these different devices from different brands and manufacturers. And, it's talking to my audio system, my lighting system, my door lock, all those things together. And it's done like in a second. So that's something that's really impressive to me. I remember talking to one customer, and he said that him and his wife actually had a good night routine where he went to the back of the home. He checked that the patio lights were off. He checked that the back door was locked. She would head over to the mud room and make sure that the garage door was locked, that the lights were off. And then she would lock the mudroom door, and then they would kind of reconvene at the stairwell and head up to their bedroom. And I said, well, what if you could just push one button and all that happens for you? It's like, oh my God, like take my money. So like it's really amazing to just save you time. And what I talk about this kind of thing, it's called automating the mundane in your life. So taking things that maybe aren't a high value time experience, like walking around your house turning all the lights off, and turning that into extra time maybe with your spouse, or extra time doing something that you actually want to do, because those other tasks are actually taken care of for you. And it's especially important now because we're busier than ever. So that's really where I think home technology is best used, is when it's actually giving you your time back. Okay, so we're going to head into the living room now. This camera? Oh, okay. Okay, and I'm going to use this camera, right? Okay, so I'm in the living room now, and usually if somebody has like a surround sound setup like this, they're going to have a whole bunch of different remotes, and I've got those all kind of set up here just to show you. Like I have my Apple TV remote. I've got my NVIDIA Shield remote. This is my remote for my receiver, and then this is my remote for my TV. And then this is like a little wireless keyboard that I'll use sometimes if I want to like type in a movie or something in Netflix. It just goes a bit faster. And then I've even got like, video game controllers and stuff down here. So that can be pretty annoying, having to deal with all those different things. So this is called the Savant Pro remote. And I'll show you a close-up of this later. But if I want to watch TV and I want to use my Apple TV, you just look here. If I just push this button, you notice the lights come on in the living room. My TV turns on, and then it's actually going to change the input on my receiver to control my Apple TV. So that will allow me to then pick whatever is on my Apple TV, and I can actually use this remote control to do that. And take me a second here. So it's opened up into Netflix for me, which is probably just the last thing that I was watching. But then I can actually just use this remote, and I can go over and control Netflix just like I was using my Apple TV remote. So I don't actually have to use that silver remote here. I can just use this remote here and pick whatever show I want to watch. So if I was going to try to do that manually with all the other remotes that I had, I would have to actually turn on my TV with this remote, I have to open up this cupboard here and turn on my receiver. And then I would have to choose the input on my receiver that my Apple TV is plugged into. And then I would have to pick up my Apple TV remote and start using it to choose what I wanted to watch. And then I'd have to close this thing again. So again, the beauty of the Savant system is that it's able to communicate with my receiver. It also turned the lights on in the room when I chose Apple TV, and it also allows me to change the volume and everything like that on my TV, and it's all just from one single location. Now, where this gets even more powerful is that if I go back here, can you see that, Dave? Yeah. So you can see I've got living room here at the top. So if I do something like volume up or down, it'll actually just change the volume in the living room, which is the current room that I'm in. But if I click here at the top, I can actually go and look at the other rooms in my home. For example, geez, that's a little bit fast. I could go to, I want to go to kitchen. Yeah, there we go. Kitchen. And then I can see that I have lights in my kitchen and I have an audio system in my kitchen as well. And I can actually go into that and I can choose some music, and then I can adjust the volume up and down and turn that system on or off if I want to. If I found that the lighting in the living room was a little bit too bright, I can go here in my app and I can actually adjust those lights up and down if I want. I can put them to full brightness if I want, or dim them again, like right down. So it really gives you an opportunity to not only control your TV, but all of the aspects of your smart home as well from a single location, which is super cool and not something that I've ever seen like a Google or Alexa home really be able to do to this level. My thermostat's on there too. I mean, if I feel like it's a little bit hot or cold, I can actually change the temperature as well. Some of you might be seeing that 58 and thinking, oh my God, but I like a cold house. And then once I'm sort of done with all that stuff, I can just go back to my Apple TV and I can hit this power button here. And then I can just say living room off. And then it's going to turn my TV off and it's going to turn the lights off in the living room. And again, if I wanted to do that manually, I would be having to go back and picking up all these remotes again. So it takes a really irritating experience and turns into one that's very seamless and quick and super valuable when you have a lot of different aspects in your home. This is the smart thermostat here as well. So pretty standard affair. Like you can control it from here with buttons, but it's also got the ability to be controlled like you saw in the app and the different aspects of the smart home ecosystem as well. You can schedule it and everything just like a regular thermostat. Then we're going to head over to the touchscreen in the great room. And David's just going to focus on that. So this is called the Savant Touch. It's a 5.5-inch touchscreen, and it's basically just the Savant app, always on and available in the home. It connects with an Ethernet cable to the network and gives you like full home control. So right now I'm gonna, just as an example, pull up some music. So I've got Amazon Music on here, and it's actually showing me the last thing that was playing. And I can change my volume here if I want to, bring that up. It also shows me at the top here where the music is being distributed. So I can choose, play it in the dining room and the living room as well, or I can just keep it where it is. I can like songs, if I want this to kind of store in my playlist. And I can even just use this as a search tool to like look up a specific song, or it'll just show me kind of the last things that I searched. So you know, if I want, okay, I want to hear this Justin Bieber song again. This is probably going to come up pretty loud, but I'll adjust the volume here after it's done. And then, you know, we'll go to his Purpose album and play I'll Show You. So then that comes up here, and then I can adjust the audio if I want on that. These screens are really great because they just give you like a single point of contact to control the home. So I like to put them in like strategic locations. This is like my great room kitchen like threshold. So it's a pretty good spot for it. That and the keypads are definitely something that are awesome if they're strategically placed here at the home, because you can have multiple things happen from there. And then once I'm done, I can just hit this power button and it just turns the music off. And then a really cool feature as well. This is something that I did on New Year's Eve. I had some friends over and I created a scene called Party. And what that's going to do is, well, I'll just touch it and show you. So you notice all the lights start going different colors. You can see in the living room, and they'll kind of flash different colors, and in the ceiling in the kitchen. And then the music that is playing just goes to like a top 100 playlist. So right now we've got Billie Eilish, and it plays this station throughout the entire home. So again, you can choose whatever you want that to be for you. It all can be customized, and the homeowner can create their own scenes as well. So when we do the project, we can make some scenes for you, but we also teach you how to do this yourself, so that, you know, if you have a party happening and you want to set a specific mood, you can do that for your home. And then again, if you want to pause the music, it can all just be done from here. And then if I actually want to change the lighting back to normal, I have lighting control in this as well. So my lights are kind of doing a funky thing right now. So I'm actually just going to turn them all off. And as I get all of them there. Yeah. And then, so this is something that's actually really, really exciting about lighting that I absolutely love. And it's a really amazing feature that Savant has introduced recently. It's called daylight mode. So what that is basically the lights in the system will automatically follow you. Oh my goodness, it'll automatically follow the what's going on there. No, I'm just gonna actually choose a scene. All lights on. Daylight. It'll automatically follow the color temperature of the sun. So I don't know if you can see this like shade of sunlight that's kind of coming in over here. You guys can see me on this one. No, you can't really on that scene. Okay. So, but as the the sun goes throughout the day, this lighting will be like kind of like candlelight in the morning, like a sunrise color. And then as you move throughout the day, let me just see. I'll go to Great Room here. As you move throughout the day, it sort of follows this spectrum here. So right now we're at a natural white because it's midday, but you can see it has like a sunrise, sunset color. That's kind of where the lighting is going to start for you. And then as it moves later into the evening, it's going to go to like a candlelight color. And that's automatically adjusting with your smart lights, depending on where you are geographically in the world. So it's specific to my location. If I was in, Jamaica or somewhere else where it was a lot more sunny, it would actually be adjusting to that type of sunlight instead. So I love that because, I find now I just got back from a vacation, and it's like when I'm in my hotel room and I'm turning on the lights, every light is at 100% bright, and it's like 100% cool white. And I I feel like a vampire, like hissing at the lights because they're just so bright and blue. And it's just like, oh my God, like this is aggressive. It's like 9 p.m. I don't want the light to be like that. So I really love this system because it's just automatically happening for you. And then, if you wanted to just manually adjust stuff in your lighting system, you've got these like little lighting scenes that you can choose on here if you're in for some fun, or if you want to just do like a color, you've got this whole color palette that you can adjust the lights to as well. But I personally find that the daylight mode, that being run throughout the day, is actually just an amazing way to enjoy the system. And yeah, and then just one other thing I'll quickly show before we leave from here is we've got this thing called entry. And what that does is if somebody rings your doorbell, it brings your doorbell camera up on here, and it allows you to talk to them, and you can lock and unlock your door from here as well. So that's like I was saying earlier, you've got the Ring camera, but you've got the Yale lock. They're both able to be adopted into what's called a door station. And there's lots of other cameras and locks that you can use, but we've just found these two to be one of the better ones. And this touchscreen can be, wherever it's placed throughout your home, it can interact with that system. And you also have an 8-inch screen as well if you want to go bigger. And this can also be done flush with the drywall if you would prefer that kind of a look as well. But that's just got to be done pre-construction. So lots of cool options here. So I'm just going to take you over to another spot in the kitchen now. And double tap the trigger, yeah. And then, so this is actually called an Echo Show. And the Echo Show is an Alexa product, but something that we've done in this home is we've created Alexa integration into this smart home because I do really like voice commands. Savant doesn't have voice command like Google or Alexa, because it's a private system, so there's no cloud storage. So if anyone's ever concerned about security or people recording their conversations, that's one really nice feature of Savant. But if you don't mind, or you care less than you do about having voice control like me, you can also add Alexa into the home. So this is a really great product because it also can integrate with other aspects. Like, for example, I can say something like Echo, what's the weather today?
Right now in Oshawa, it's 17 degrees Celsius with clear skies and sun. Today's forecast has intermittent clouds with a high of 19 degrees and a low of 7 degrees.
Yeah, and I can also say like Echo, show me a recipe for jerk chicken.
Okay, for jerk chicken, here are a few recipes.
And then I love this in my own kitchen. I can pull this up and I can just have these ingredients available for me and follow a recipe. This has truly made me a better chef because I'm using this more and I'm remembering recipes, and I can pretty well make a jerk chicken without having to look at the recipe anymore, which is amazing. I can also do things like Echo, show me the front door. And then she'll pull up my front door for me. Because I'm looking at the recipe, it's going to be small, but I just have to touch the corner of the screen here, and it'll full screen it for me. I can also talk to whoever's at the door from here if I want to. And then when I'm done with all of that, I can just go, Echo, go home. And she'll just go back to the home screen. I can close out this camera. Whoops, didn't close it out. There we go. You can have certain stats come up here as well, like your calendar. This one's giving me kind of some sport highlights or showing me the music that I listened to last. You can also ask it questions if you guys are debating about, a question somebody has, you don't really know the answer. You can ask her questions. It's got some pretty cool AI, and I can also control the home in it as well. So I can go Echo, kitchen off. And then she'll turn the lights off in the kitchen. And then you notice here that there's also this touch screen. I can just turn them back on again if I want to from the screen. So it's giving you different ways of controlling the home, which is something that I think is important, because you want to, sometimes the husband really likes voice command, but the wife doesn't. She would rather be able to use a touch screen. That's something that we like to do throughout the home. There's the light switch, there's the voice command, there's the touch screen, there's the remote. There's always different ways that the home can be controlled, which just makes it, an easier ecosystem to interact with. So after this, we're going to go upstairs and I'm going to show you some smart blinds as well. Okay, so I have a traditional blind and a smart blind here. We all know what a regular blind is like. You gotta get up and manually do it every day. I find that, when my blinds are closed in the morning, it's harder to get out of bed. And so I've programmed this blind to actually open with sunrise and to close automatically at 10 p.m. every day. It can also be controlled with this remote. This is just magnetic, so this part can be mounted on the wall, and you can just have this, beside the bed, something like that. I haven't mounted mine just because I just display purposes, so I can control it with the remote here. The blind will go up and down, and I can also do this with voice commands with this little speaker here that I have. This guy is called the Echo Dot. So it's similar to the product in the kitchen where it's got full Alexa built into it. And then we've programmed her to be able to talk to the Savant system as well. So I can say something like, Echo, Andrew shade open. And she's going to open the blind for me. If I ever find that the blind goes up a little bit early, it's on a weekend, I want to sleep in a little bit, I can just give a voice command and close the blind again if I want to, or and then voice command it open again later when I want. This speaker is really cool because I can also control other things in the home, like I can say Echo, Andrew's lamp on, and then I have
I can also control your smart home devices from your car. Do you want to learn more?
No, thank you. So that lamp is going to go on. I can say something else like Echo, bedside lamp on. That's my other lamp. You'll notice that those lights are red. And the reason why is because I only ever use those in the evening. And something that I'm also really passionate about is like wellness inside the home. So I've done that to eliminate blue light from coming into my eyes in the evening because as I get older, the sleeping has become much more important to me. So that's something that I have going on in my bathroom and my bedroom lights, is that they're always red in the evening. This guy has a motion detector built into it, so that when I enter my bedroom after sunset, those lights will actually automatically turn on for me because the motion detector has detected somebody in the room. Super cool feature. I love that so much. I come in here, I don't even have to touch a light switch anymore. In fact, I don't think I've really touched a light switch in a very long time, which is great. And this is like an alarm clock on steroids too. So it can turn on in the morning. It tells me what the weather is. It tells me the first 4 things on my calendar. And it'll also tell me how long my commute is if I've got something in my calendar where there's a bit of a drive. I can also play music from here, and I can even control the home as well. So when I come into bed at night, if I've forgotten to turn everything off downstairs. I can just tell her good night, and she turns the lights off and locks all the doors for me. So again, another point of contact for the bedroom. And this could be different for you, right? Like you could say, no, I don't want that speaker. I'd just like a keypad in my room, and that's how I want to shut the house down in the evening. It's really whatever works best for the homeowner. We can custom create that for you. But I like the voice commands. It's something that it was a little weird at first, but once I got used to it, I really loved it. So that's why I have that speaker here. I think that's pretty well a tour, and then we'll go into my office, and Dave will say goodbye, and then we can talk in the camera on there. Alrighty. Oh, hey Rebecca, are you there?
I'm here.
Am I
It's
muted?
Vanessa.
Oh.
Hi, Andrew. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hey, I can hear you, Vanessa. Oh, Rebecca had to leave.
Yeah.
Right, no problem. Yeah, so for the end, I just really was going to show some just some examples of like kind of how we design these systems, and then of course I've got like pinned over here.
I do have a few questions if you don't mind, Andrew.
Absolutely, yeah, we can go into that.
Yeah, so I was wondering about the light bulbs and if you need regular light bulbs or LED light bulbs or smart light bulbs, like what works in the smart house?
Yeah, so in this house, we've got a combination of smart bulbs and smart pot lights, and then smart light switches. So there's a few different ways you can do it. In order to do the circadian rhythm lighting, you need a smart switch and you need a smart bulb or a smart pot light, because the light has to have full like RGBW capability on it. But if you say just wanted to be able to dim your lights and you didn't want a smart bulb as well, you could just have like a dimmable pot light or a dimmable light bulb, and then the smart switch would be able to control that, dim it up and down from 100% to 1%. But if you're wanting circadian rhythm lighting, you need a combination of the two together.
Okay, so it just depends on what you're looking for. You can use a regular LED light or a smart light.
Yeah, and like for something like the lamps, that's a smart bulb. It's just a regular screw-in bulb, but it has the smart capability built into it. And then but that one you have to have the bulb, or otherwise it won't work. And then for the ceiling lights or like a light fixture, you can just have a dimmable bulb with a smart switch, and the switch can be controlling just a regular light.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about smart homes in rural areas? How do they work in rural properties?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, well, we're also a Starlink dealer. So, um, Starlink is definitely an amazing product to get you fast internet. And then once you've got good internet, that's really the foundation of a smart home. We can do the exact same thing that I've showed you here on a rural property. We've done lots of rural properties. It's just I find the caveat for a lot of those places is that you need good internet, and Starlink is open that door for everybody. Their service is amazing, and you can do a full smart home on it.
Okay, so as long as they have reliable internet?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't work very well on slow internet in rural properties. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, like it would still work for you internally when you're inside the home. Like the user experience in the home would be fine. It's just if you're ever trying to control a home like from somewhere else or watch your cameras or something like that, it wouldn't be a very good experience. But all of these features are available. is like what we would have to do there is just make sure that the internal network is really good. So
Right.
there's sort of like there's the external, which is the internet provider, and then the internal is like the network inside the home. As long as the network inside the home is good, you can do any of this stuff. It's just communicating. Say you're on vacation and you want to check your cameras and you're on a slow network, your camera feed probably wouldn't work very well. But the cameras would still be recording at your house. You just can't watch them remotely. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. So they'd still be available, just not remotely. You could still access them at the home and they'd still be there for like backup.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you able to show us what it looks like on the phone app?
Yeah. So this is the app here, actually. This screen here. So like this is, I can just click on my cameras here, and like that's my security system right now. So I can click on driveway. There's my driveway. And I can go to my, backyard. That's security app there.
Okay. Like control your lights from your phone?
Yeah, so the bottom bar here, you can just scroll over, and then you see how the living
Yep.
room lights
Yep.
are on right now. So, and then I've got the lighting. So if I just click this off button, you see how that light turned off?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the app control there. And then I just turn them back on. And you can schedule these, which is really amazing. Like if you've got exterior lights that you want to have, do a dusk till dawn kind of setting, you can do that. Um, you can leave like sometimes I have a cat and sometimes I forget that she's um here in the dark, and I'll be like, oh, and I'll turn some lights on for her so she's not just sitting in the dark. Uh, and I'll just do that from my phone.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, this is what the app looks like. This picture here is actually my house as well. So what's really cool about it is that like if I go into rooms, like these are the actual rooms in my home. And so when we finish a project for a customer, we'll custom create this app for them, and we'll take pictures of their actual home so that, when they're like, oh, I want to control my office, that's literally my office, as you can see behind me. And I can go in, I can see that I have lights in here, and I can choose like, oh, let's do like a fun little aurora scene, and then you can see that those lights have now changed color behind me. um, that's how the app will look, but it will be customized to you, the homeowner, to give you a more personal experience.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah. um, yeah, and then did you have any other questions?
Those were all the questions that I had.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm just going to show you. So like when we're presenting this stuff to, can you see the screen over here?
Yeah.
So this is kind of like our different products that we have in each category. So one of the things that we try to like do in this business is have like really good transparency, because I find there's just so many different options out there that it can be quite overwhelming. So um, we've got this picture book that kind of shows the different products that are in each category, so that our clients can better understand like what exactly these things are and what they look like. Like this is a cell booster system. Like these are what the antennas look like and the pipe that we mounted on and everything. Um, these are the different kind of cameras and locks and security systems that we have. uh speaking of lighting, like there's your smart bulb. That's like a smart pot light. This is the Savant app as an example, and then these are kind of the examples of smart switches. um and then for audio, there's like ceiling speakers and this subwoofer and Savant amp and whatnot. These speaker brackets we typically install like pre-construction. And then, there's kind of like your home theater options there, sound bar and, rear speakers and subwoofers and stuff like that. And we do central vac as well. And then integration is like, there's the pro remote and the host, which is like the brain of the smart home. There's that Echo Dot and then the touchscreen, thermostat, keypad, stuff like that. And then, of course, we also do like consulting and design for custom projects. So say somebody is like, a new thing that we've learned about is energy monitoring and solar power systems. So those things are they're difficult to package up because it's custom for every home, because there's how much light is available in your area, what's your roof like, stuff like that. So these things are all offered at a consulting rate to design these systems, but we can do more than what we spoke about. You can do, for example, speakers in the wall that are totally invisible, and you actually mud and tape and paint over them, but they're still an amazing in-wall speaker. You just can't see that they're there. Stuff like that's like a custom project. And blinds as well, like smart blinds have to be custom cut to every window, so that's also something where you're getting into custom. But this is something I'll send to you after the webinar today, so that you can have a look over at this. And then like when we also have like packages that we've kind of created in each category to show people like a good idea of like what kind of pricing they can expect from this kind of a system. So there's like, I feel like I'm cutting out here. Can you still hear me, Vanessa?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Yeah. Okay. So, there's different pricing aspects for each category, kind of, elite, pro, and essential that we've got here that show, just some numbers for people to kind of understand. All of these are Savant Home systems. All of them are very high quality. So you can see the different ideas of like what a smart home can cost. And these are all like, even our essential package it's by no means basic. It's still very good. It's still a very good system. So that's something that typically if we're taking somebody through a journey, it involves some consultation and information, and then we'll sort of try to discover where they think they fall in these categories. And yeah, that's pretty well the presentation. I usually try to leave about 10 minutes for chatter at the end, but there wasn't too many of us here. But is there anything else that you might have a question about, Vanessa?
No, I think you answered all of my questions very well.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing over here. Cool. Well, I can I'll make sure that those files are sent over to you, and if that's really all you've got for today, that's pretty well the presentation. So thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing all that information with us.
Yeah, thanks for attending, and hopefully we can do another one where we can get some more people invited, and then Rebecca was saying something about there's like a potential smart home presentation in Peterborough coming up that maybe I can come and do. So that would be fun as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome, Vanessa. Well, I'll send you a follow-up email, and if anything pops up that you didn't think of during the webinar, you can always just send me a message.
That's great. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Okay, thank you too.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.